Hi, I'm Susan Rutledge, and in this video I'm going to show you how easy it is to use the blend tool to make multicolored dashed and smooth pattern brushes in Adobe Illustrator. So let's move to a blank document and I'm going to get started. The first thing I'll do is grab the rectangle tool and I'm going to click on the artboard to open the rectangle dialog box, where I'll type in 1 inch for the width, tab down and type in 1 inch for the height and say OK. Then I'm going to give this a red fill and I want to remove the stroke. I'm going to move this over to the left side of my artboard and come up to Object, Transform, and Move. And I'm going to move this 5 inches horizontally, 0 inches vertically, and I'm going to make a copy. Then with the copy selected, I'll duplicate that move 2 more times, Command D and Command D. Now for this second square, I'm going to change the color to a light green, and then for this one I'm going to change this to a light blue. And I'll select all 4 of the squares, come up to Object, down to Blend, Blend Options. I want to make sure I have specified steps selected. There's a little pull down menu if you don't see that. And I'm going to change the number to 2 and say OK. Nothing happens until we go back up to Object, Blend, and choose Make. And then Illustrator places 2 blended colors in between each of our other squares. Now I'm going to go back up one more time, Object, Blend, and I'm going to expand this blend so that I can work with these individual squares. Then I'll ungroup them, Object, Ungroup, or Shift Command G. Now I want to change the size of the left and the right square, because when I create a pattern brush, this pattern is going to repeat end to end, and I don't want a double red showing up. So let me just show you what I'll do. I'll select the left square and I'm going to come over to the transform area of the properties panel, and you see this little square here that has individual anchors, and I'm going to click on the right center anchor, which tells Illustrator this point doesn't move, but I want to change the width to 0.5 inches. Then I'm going to press the return key, and Illustrator left the right center anchor the same, which leaves my spacing the same in between these first 2 squares. I'll do the same thing on the right square. I'll select it, but this time I don't want the left side to move, so I'll click on the left anchor and again type in 0.5 inches and press the return key. So now I have a half square here and a half square here. I'm going to select these and group them, Object, Group, or Command G. And then let's move this up to the top, and I'm going to hold the Option key down and drag out a copy. Now this design is much too large for a standard pattern brush, so with it selected, I'll go up to Object, Transform, over and down to Scale, and I'm going to scale it all the way down to 15% and say OK. And then let's move this up and out of the way. I'm actually working with a really large screen here, so the size that I reduced the brush down to was 2.25 inches, which I think is a pretty good size. Now I'm going to go up to Window, down to Brushes to get the Brushes panel, and with my design selected, I'll go to the bottom of the Brushes panel and click on the little new brush icon, and I'm going to choose Pattern Brush, say OK, and let's name this one Dashed Brush. And then I want to change the outer corner tile, so I'll click on the pull down menu and I'm going to choose auto between for the corner and leave everything else the same and say OK. Then let's take the brushes tab and drag it over into the right side of my workspace. Now I'm going to get the rectangle tool, drag out a rectangle and apply the pattern brush here, and we can increase the size to 3 points. And because I have kind of a funny corner here, I'm going to grab one of these corner widgets and slightly drag it to the center to round those corners. And I'm really happy with the way that turned out. Now to make the smooth blend color, all we need to do is select our design, hold down the Option key to drag out a copy, and with it selected, I'm going to go up to Object, down to Blend, over and down to Blend Options, and this time I'll choose Smooth Color, say OK, and then go back to Object, Blend, Make, and here we have a smooth rendition of these same colors. So we'll select the smooth design, open the brushes panel, go down to the bottom and click on the new brush icon, choose pattern brush again and say OK. I'm going to call this the smooth blend brush. We'll leave everything else the same and say OK. Now let's just hold down the Option key and make a copy of our brush. I'm going to change the size just a little bit here and then apply the smooth blend brush here. And look how nice that looks. Now I've applied these pattern brushes to closed paths, but I can also use the paintbrush tool and create a line using either one of these designs. So let's just drag out a little swirly line here. Then I'll select what I just drew, go to the Properties panel, increase the size, and I'm going to click on the word stroke in the Appearance panel, come down to Profiles, and in the pull down menu, I'm going to choose Width Profile number 1. And what that's going to do is give me a point on each end of my little squiggly line. Now I want to make the center of this wider, so I'm going to use the width tool, and I'll find it on the left toolbar. I'll click down here and I want to find the center. If I kind of drag around, notice there's a line right here, and I'm going to just drag one of those anchors until I have the design the size that I want it. And I can actually use the width tool and change the width all over the place. Let's try one more here. I'll click here and just drag a little bit here. I don't like that as well because it's kind of bulging here. So I'm going to undo that move, edit, undo the change. And I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And that is how easy it is to use the blend tool to create pattern brushes in Adobe Illustrator. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video and learned some things both about making pattern brushes and about using the blend tool. I do want to invite you to subscribe to my channel and be sure to click the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future tutorials, and I'm going to look forward to seeing you again next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye now.